She is a blooming, neuro-quirky, agenda poet, curator, and organizer. Their practice is rooted in an ongoing self-study and co-creative process with their ancestors aligned with the spiritual practice. They are currently focused on projects that include intuitive and prose poetry, speculative storytelling, and unearths and gives shape to Black trendsetters. Folasade has self-published a poetry chapbook titled Bodies Are Deep Wells, as well as several poetry zines. She has additionally published Writing with St. Paul Almanac, Blue Earth Review, The Kitchen, Hair Plus Nails, and the Minnesota Women Press. Please welcome Folasade.
Hello. Cool, how's everybody doing? I'm reading, well, I'm gonna read 3 poems that I've never read before. So let's see how this goes. Okay, this first one is called Something About Clock's Time, the Weight of It. I've been thinking a lot about water deities and wondering which keep insisting on my journey through fresh waters. Yamoja is my sibling, born recently in Aquarius. They stared spears into my eyes when we first met. Somebody knew something. Regina told me something about the ancestors' matter that still paints the water. The cycle of evaporation, the means by which they travel, takes something like 200 years. So I wonder about your journey here. I choose the container of land too. It's been overcast and rainy the last 24 hours, so I've been hiding behind windows where it's warmer, but then I noticed the sun begun shining just as the clock read dusk. So I came out to greet her and was delighted the moon sought the same. I wonder about their love story and who thought to touch the drear of this day so our lovers could linger together in the midst the oldest of love tales. What of the sun's other lovers? Distant moons steer distant waters. I wonder if they recorded the story of their first meeting, what language the story speak. Can you even fathom a love so enduring we never question? The strength of their devotion, how could you? The stars and her planets plus the moon and other comets can't read clocks, only movement, only cycles and routines. They know relation and reflection, the sensation of rocking chairs. The next one is called I Can See Spirit in the Birds. And I wrote this last poem and this one at this residency on Madeline Island. That was like super dreamy and magical. I can see spirit in the birds, wood patterns and pollen debris. I see spirit sweet like Mamanita sugar. My own voice, red earth, peppered black sand. The sun glistening silk on water, spirit all in the moles on your face. Even within it all, you can always find me here at the tip of your vision, in between and surrounding. A small trinity, you noticed me in your first grade classroom. You asked, why is this what's got me fixed? As you're here in the dark, you can find me in the stars or beneath the surface, what you call your God. I can see spirit in the waves and the lip of burning bark, the teeny bubbles that endure at the foot of your lapping against the shore. I can see spirit through the light in the trees. The flowers cast shadows, the moon revealed from clouds unwanting. Her light slithers on waters unrested. The last one, okay, this last one I wrote, it's a little bit longer. I wrote it, my friend asked me to write a response to Earth, Wind, and Fire's greatest hits. So that's okay. No shame, you know, sometimes when I play music loud in my house, I worry about what my neighbors will think. Earth, Wind, and Fire are experts for infusing their music with black-ass joy and futurity in a way that can only emanate joy to and from all who can hear. Today, I left the plant matter stuck in my hair, and walked myself to the coffee shop. When I think of joy, I think of trumpets in September. There's a video of me from when I was littler, with my best friend Kasani singing and dancing September in falsetto somewhere. Back when joy was made of ignorance and blissful as she can be, rather than horns and drums and party sounds. There was a time in the 90s when Tommy Pickles' grandpa played the trumpet, and I decided then and there I'd learn to play the trumpet. I took lessons for less than 1 school year and then abandoned it for a more melancholy violin. Joy was elusive, slippery, intangible back then. I can imagine the future that they're dreaming of, that they're manifesting in this music. I think it is the same future a lot of us are still striving for. It is an inherited dream that we haven't reached just yet, at least not in a sustained way. But there are always pockets, always moments, always divots in the clouds where the sun can shine through. Some other thoughts on fantasy. I recently learned something about autistic fixation, how my autistic fixation might live entirely somewhere in my head, or fantasy land. I used to fantasize compulsively, incessantly, obsessively to escape my reality, but I built a world within the curve of my skull that was mine, and I lived there. Today, I live in the future, and there are elements of this fantasy world that are manifesting here today. I made a friend today. I had a date today. I made art with my hands today. I sang a song. I'm thinking about how essential music and singing and voice and instruments and horns, bells are to joy and calling in a future. This thing about fixation, when a band fixates on the curation of joy, something is coming up for me about the way sound waves are released from our bodies and into the air, moving in ways we cannot see across the earth, and I can only assume across time as well, and the power this must hold, the power of what we can't see but can feel. We can hear it here in the future. And dancing, I've been dancing a lot, which is good for my body and my descendants. This statement also makes me think about being in our heads, or this intangible, unhuman, but accessible spiritual space as connecting with ancestors, and then being in our bodies, like the touch stuff, connecting with descendants, maybe. Today, I'm with Mabole at home, co-working and chit-chatting, and today my thoughts on Earth, Wind, and Fire's greatest hits are due. I feel validated in this album. I feel like there are pieces of me in here, and then there are pieces in here that are new to me. I'm in this new place, this future that I dreamt of once. I smile most days. I laugh and talk to people. There are folks to talk to, and sometimes we chant and sing love songs. Love songs come from the throat and vibrate in the wind. Chanting, singing, these are vocal technologies of beckoning a future. In the wind, I rode on a love song to a place where there's dancing, and I danced around the room with my cat Parsley, and I stomped my feet like grandmama taught me, and I thought of futures on the other side of the fall of empire. I saw a future we gave birth to.